I moved into a small, creaky apartment in an old building downtown. The kind of place people pass by quickly, eyes averted, as if they want nothing to do with it. The rent was cheap, the neighbors mostly quiet. Perfect for someone trying to keep to themselves. I wasn't expecting much, but what I found there changed everything. The first thing that caught my eye wasn't the peeling wallpaper or the dusty furniture. It was the mirror. A massive, floor-to-ceiling antique mirror, bolted firmly to the wall in the narrow hallway. Its frame was ornate, carved with strange twisting shapes that looked almost like faces frozen in pain or fear. The glass was clear but had tiny bubbles and imperfections, like it was centuries old. The mirror seemed out of place, too grand for this rundown building. When I asked the landlord about it, he gave me a look, something between annoyance and fear. It's been there since the place was built, probably. No one's ever been able to get rid of it. Tried once or twice. You'd do best just leaving it alone. That was the first warning, though I didn't realize it then. The first few nights in the apartment were normal enough, aside from the usual creaks and groans old buildings make as they settle. But one night, lying in bed, I felt a chill crawl over me, as if the air itself had grown heavier. I got up, rubbed my eyes, and walked to the hallway. The mirror caught my reflection perfectly, but something was wrong. My reflection blinked a fraction too late, almost like it was a frame behind. I froze. The reflection's lips curled into a smile that I hadn't made. I stared. The smile stayed, slow and deliberate. I looked away, then back again. The smile was gone. Heart pounding, I backed away and went back to bed, but sleep didn't come easily. The whispering starts. Over the next week, the strange occurrences grew worse. Sometimes, when I passed the mirror, my reflection would disappear entirely. No face, just a dark void framed by the cracked glass. Other times, I heard whispers coming from it. At first, I thought I was imagining things, tired and alone, but the voices grew clearer. "Let me out," they said. "Look closer. It's not you." One night, I woke up to the sound of scratching against glass. My heart nearly stopped. I sat up and saw my bedroom door's reflection in the hallway mirror, but there was a second figure behind me, just barely visible, dark, featureless, and watching. I spun around. Nothing there. I started sleeping with the lights on. Meeting the neighbor, I told my neighbor, an older woman named Mrs. Harper, about the mirror and the voices. She shivered. "That mirror is cursed," she said quietly. "A long time ago, a woman lived here. She was troubled. People said she went mad, trapped by something in that glass. She vanished one night. No one ever saw her again. I didn't know whether to believe her, but the feeling of dread was real. Every time I looked in that mirror, I felt watched. The reflection fights back one night. I stood in front of the mirror, determined to prove it was just my imagination. I raised my hand slowly, and my reflection copied perfectly, until it didn't. It winked. I jumped back, heart racing. The reflection's smile stretched impossibly wide, almost tearing its face. Suddenly, the lights flickered and went out. I was plunged into darkness. When the power came back, the mirror was gone. Or so I thought. The next morning, I searched the hallway. The mirror was back, hung perfectly on the wall as if nothing happened. But the thing was, my reflection was missing. Instead, there was a face behind the glass. A face like mine, but twisted and dark, with black eyes and a cruel grin. It mouthed words silently. "Let me in." Breaking point, I grabbed a hammer and smashed the mirror. Glass shattered everywhere, sparkling like ice. But when I looked into the broken pieces, I saw her, the reflection, pressing from inside, her fingers reaching out, desperate. "Let me out," she whispered. I threw the shards into a box and dumped them in the nearby river. The mirror returned. That night, I couldn't sleep. The room felt suffocating. I heard footsteps in the hallway, soft, dragging footsteps. When I got up to check, the mirror was back on the wall. Perfect, whole, Unbroken, I stared. My reflection looked back, but this time it didn't move. It didn't blink. It just smiled. But the smile was mine, and it wasn't mine. Losing myself. Days passed, and I started noticing changes. My hands moved on their own. My voice sometimes sounded deeper, darker. I found scratches on my arms, like claws digging in. The reflection sometimes moved without me. It would wave or mouth words I couldn't hear. One morning, I woke up and realized my reflection was no longer a reflection. It was me. The final warning. If you find this recording, if you see a mirror with a strange frame and a reflection that smiles too long, don't look too closely.